Hello and welcome to traders and investors, and I'm glad to present you the daily market review prepared by analysts and experts from fx.co portal. Here we go. And we're starting with EURUSD currency pair. Jakub Novak presents.
Today, the euro can be bought if the price reaches the 1.1693 level, with a target of growth toward 1.1715. At 1.1715, you could plan to exit the market and also sell the euro in the opposite direction, aiming for a move of 30-35 points from the entry. Euro growth can be expected after strong data. Before buying, make sure that the MACD indicator is above the zero mark and just beginning to rise from it. You could also plan to buy the euro today if there are two consecutive price tests, a 1.1677 price level, while the MACD indicator is in an oversold zone. This will limit the pair's downward potential and lead to a reversal upward, a rise toward the opposite levels of 1.1693 and 1.1715 can be expected. You could plan to sell the euro today after the price reaches the 1.1677 level. The target will be 1655, where you could intend to exit the market and immediately buy in the opposite direction, aiming for 20-25 points from that level. Pressure on the pair today may return only after weak economic data. Before selling, make sure that the MACD indicator is below the zero line and just beginning to decline from it. You could also plan to sell the euro today if there are two consecutive price tests of 1.1693, while the MACD indicator is in an overbought zone. This will limit the pair's upward potential and lead to a downward market reversal. A decline toward the opposite levels of 1.1677 and 1655 can be expected.
Let's trade with the MACD indicator. It's time for GBPUSD. Jakub Novak presents.
Today, you could plan to buy the pound when the price reaches the entry area around 34.71, with a growth target at the 1.3500 level. Around 35.00, you could plan to exit long positions and open sell positions in the opposite direction, aiming for a 30-35 point move. Pound growth today can be expected after strong economic data. Before buying, make sure that the MACD indicator is above the zero line and just beginning to rise from it. You could also plan to buy the pound today if there are two consecutive price tests of 1.3448, while the MACD indicator is in an oversold zone. This will limit the pair's downward potential and lead to an upward market reversal. A rise toward the opposite levels of 1.3471 and 35.00 can be expected. You could plan to sell the pound today after the 1.3448 level is broken, which will lead to a rapid decline in the pair. The key target for sellers will be 1.3417 level, where you could plan to exit short positions and immediately open longs, aiming for a 20-25 point move from that level. Pound sellers may become active after weak economic data. Before selling, make sure that the MACD indicator is below the zero line and just started to begin declining. You could also plan to sell the pound today if there are two consecutive price tests of 1.3471, while the MACD indicator is in an overbought zone. This will limit the pair's upward potential and lead to a downward market reversal. A decline toward the opposite levels of 1.3448 and 34.17 can be expected.
That's all for today. See you online soon.